just wanted to come on and say, guess what? It's book signing day and I'm busy posting books. Really, really, really excited. I'm finally actually doing what I didn't do with my first book, which I'm actually autographing and signing them. And I can see someone has come on. Hello, hello, hello. What an exciting thing. Hi, Mark. It's been a really brilliant time for me. I've managed to sign and to actually have my books printed. And the last time when I had my book hiding in the aha moment, I didn't actually get as excited about it. And this time I am. And the reason I'm really getting excited is because this is a story about my unfolding, about what stopped me from basically being able to stand up for myself and show people who I am. In fact, what I was always doing was hiding and pretending I was someone I was not. And I was always afraid that I would be found out. So then there was this imposter syndrome that then just kept me in the cycle, So, oh my goodness, lots of people are on. Hello, 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 Susan. And who is this person over here? I'll just wave to you. I need to say hello to you. Oh, Seamus. Hi, everyone. Yes, so my book is really about an unfolding of realizing that there was this hidden child inside that was screaming for attention. But how I could see the situation that was happening was when I started to look at where I was limiting myself, where I was not able to move forward, where was I not standing in a crowd and being just open with everything, where was I being afraid, or where was I finding that I was isolating. And really, you know, this is the key of what I do and work with women. And the crazy thing was, a lot of the time I hadn't thought that I was suffering from those things. I thought I was a super confident, super bright, super excited kind of person. And then I realized when I started to take a deeper dive that actually that wasn't that. And what would happen if people saw me? What would happen if people saw that I wasn't as good as I thought I was, or I wasn't saying the things that were true, or there were all sorts of things that were going up. What would happen if people saw that I came from a dysfunctional family? Or what happened if those people that knew my parents and my family, what would they say? These were all things that kept running up for me constantly. And that was what I wanted to write about, because when I did my first book, The Aha Moment, it was a self-help book. And the self-help book was there because, I learned how to change a behavior and I wanted to make it stick. And I had learned really maybe more from a theoretical kind of way of being. And what I didn't know is how to do it as an embodied being. That was the difference. And that was what Hiding in Plain Sight is about. It is about working from the inside out and being an embodied being, showing up as that embodied being fully as yourself. So yes, I'm really excited. I'm really excited because I realized when I was writing the book that I didn't really think anything was wrong with me. And when I started to write, I realized the deep impacts, the deep emotional wounds that I had experienced. And the choices I had made as a result of those experiences. So yes, it is about telling you about what happened, but it's also kind of there to kind of give you some awareness about, well, most of us do things in order to survive. Most of us do things in order to thrive. And whatever we do is going to come at some cost. If it's not done from a place of wholeness, if it's not done from a place of completeness, if it's not done in the sense of knowing that you are loved fully and completely, and if you're aware that actually you have just as much right as anyone else, and you can feel that deeply, fully, completely, then that shifts the ball game. That creates a whole new paradigm for you. And that's what it did for me. It opened up such a big paradigm, a big shift. And actually the crazy thing is, once I wrote it and once I actually let people see the story, and once I realized that there was nothing to be ashamed of, because shame, lack and isolation are key factors that women suffer. This is one of these are our strategies we often adopt. So, you know, one of the things is shame is a way of keeping us subjugated. It's keeping us in our place, yeah? And lack is when we think that the world is not there supporting us. And therefore, why should we do anything? Because we're not being supported. And then you have isolation, where we don't ask for what we need. And we come up with ideas that they should know. They should know, you know. And when we don't ask, we don't tell them, then we don't get what we need to get. And I learned that very, very late in life, actually. Actually, my brother had learnt that very early. He learned to ask and he learned to get, yeah? And he learned to expect, as people do, and quite rightly in different situations. But what was really interesting for me was really about recognizing how I was co-creating this world for myself. And I know that, yes, as a therapist, I kind of understood things, but I hadn't embodied them. I hadn't embodied them. And once I was able to embody them, it made a huge difference to the way I see things, the way I speak to people, the way I look at a subject, in the sense of when I look at, for example, even when I'm looking at something like today, looking at a particular blood condition, I would look at it slightly different now. I might think about it and think about it more in an embodied sense, And the moment you start to see it as an embodied sense, you start to imagine so much more, and you start to interact with it so much more, and it becomes more whole, more healing, more expanded. And this is really what this is about. And this is what I hope, reading the book, you'll recognize, where is your wounded child? How does your wounded child show up? And when your wounded child shows up, what was the strategy you took? How did you co-create your reality? And then what it is that you might need in order to change that, if that's what you want to do. Yeah? Not everybody is ready to change. Not everybody wants to change. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. What it is about, if you are in the space that you want to transform, that you want more, that you want to just feel happy, just be happy, just know that you deserve to be happy, that it belongs to you, that you belong to you. Yeah, isn't that something we would all want? And that's for me what doing the book and sharing my story is about how to achieve happiness in a very easy way once we understand what's going. We have to do the one thing which is really interesting, and it's, you know, talk about life being in full circles. My book, The Aha Moment, which I produced in 2016, had 4 basic steps that's required for all change to happen. And there can be many different little steps in between, but actually, in order to use a neurological approach, there are 4 key steps. And the first one is insight or inspiration. The second one is commitment and connection. The third one is about having an aha moment, an embodied moment where we know we are on course, that we are right, and we feel it throughout us. And then when we walk and take action. So when we have the embodied aha, we can see we become creative. And then we take the action to live and be in that daily movement that then creates the new biology, the new neurology. And that's what ICAN stood for. And crazily, I didn't understand it completely until I wrote the book. And that's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. It's almost like I was writing the book from a theoretical point of view. But this book is written from my heart and from my soul. And I think that's the difference between why I can talk about this book and why now I can reclaim my other book. That's the other bizarre thing, because I can call it back now. I can use it because I know how to use it even more. So, thank you for listening to this little spot live, and let me tell you a little bit about putting books in an envelope. And Tracy, lovely. Ah, that's your new book. Yes, it's the new book. The old one is The I Can, which is the aha moment. This is the new book. Yeah, this is the book that's going out. And I don't know, at the moment, we've only got signed copies available because right now I went through another publishing company, and the word that we cannot talk about has caused a bit of trouble. And so therefore there's been a mix-up in how my numbers were the ISB numbers. So there's a bit of confusion, and that needs to be sorted out. And then it'll all go up on the platforms, and then you'll be able to buy it from Amazon if you want to buy it from Amazon. But for now, I'm selling signed copies. So please, if that's what you would like, leave a comment and message me with your email, because it'll either be via email if you're in the UK, direct debit, direct transfer, and we can organise that. Because once I see it in the account, I will send the book. All right, and I will, if I know you, maybe just let me know a little bit more about you, and I can write a very special message. All right, take care. Bye bye. Thank you, Susan, for coming on.